What's going on, guys? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. Hopefully everybody out there had a great trading day today. Let me know in the comments how you guys ended up doing, but I just wanted to briefly do a trading update for all you guys out there and talk about my positions this week and talk about a position that I just ended up closing today as it hit my price target at around $27.50. And that position that I ended up, closing today was DGAZ, ticker symbol DGAZ, and this is an inverse ETF. Its inverse is ticker symbol UGAZ, and these two ETFs, they trade based upon /NG, which is a natural gas commodity, and pretty much whenever a natural gas is going down in price, DGAZ is going up in price, but whenever natural gas is going up in price, UGAZ is going up in price. So we were able to profit on DGAZ due to this downtrending pattern that natural gas has been in. And if you guys watched my videos last week, I was talking about how I got into DGAZ at about $25.40. That was my average position, and I scalped into DGAZ most of last week, right? I think I took about 3 to 4 separate positions on 3 to 4 separate days on DGAZ as it was on the uptrending pattern, and that is pretty much how I built a strong average position at about $25.40. And to talk a little bit about where I took my profits today on DGAZ and why I ended up taking my profits, we see that natural gas is still on this downtrending pattern. It was trading horizontally here between $2.90 up to $3 with a little outlier here when it peaked up about at $3.05. And once it broke below this 290 support level, this was a very big bearish flag in my personal opinion, right? It broke below the support level. There were a bunch of red candles in a row. If we look a little bit closer, we can see that here. And whenever we see a red candlestick, that's a bearish candlestick, right? So we see a bunch of those in a row with only one green one right here in the middle. So we see that this commodity is in bearish territory. Then once it broke below the 290 support level and it was struggling to break above the EMA line, with the EMA line acting as a resistance point, I knew this commodity was on its way down. And we pretty much, like I said, we were scalping DGAZ all the way down, as natural gas was on this downtrending pattern, meaning that whenever, it would pull back up, get closer to the EMA line, that's when I would take a position into DGAZ pretty much, right? And then as lower it got, and then it would shoot back up again, I would take another position and, continue this process. And if we look back over to DGAZ, so I can show you guys exactly where I ended up taking my profits. If we look at this 20-day chart, right, and this ended up being a 7.3% trade. I got in at $25.40 last week, right? So let's say I got in here at about $25.40, and I took my profits at $27.35. Today, like right about at 1 o'clock, I believe, I ended up taking my profits. And if we look, actually, let's look at this 5-day, 5-minute chart. So, as natural gas was on that descending downtrending pattern, continuing to make lower lows, DGAZ was obviously on an uptrending pattern, riding the EMA line, riding the SMA lines, and it's making higher highs, meaning that it's on an uptrending pattern. So we see that DGAZ here peaked up at about $27.47, and I ended up taking my profits at $27.35, like I said. And if we look over here to the 1-day, 1-minute chart, we see that DGAZ was trading at about $25.97, right around $26 pre-market hours, because natural gas did show some signs of recovery, coming all the way back to about $2.79, but it got rejected again by the EMA line at this particular point. If we're looking over here to at the longer term chart, we see that, okay, perfectly, this shows it got rejected here by the EMA line and by this 50-day SMA line, and then it started to go down again, and that is why DGAZ had a huge green day, and most of the beginning of the day it was shooting up in price. So if we look back over to DGAZ on this 1-day, 1-minute chart, or actually, let's look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart. We see that, like I said, it was trading at about $26. It shot up, right, all the way to about noon, I believe. Yeah, about noon, right? It hit its high at about $27.47, and I pretty much just sold while natural gas was at about $2.73.6, 2.736, and that was the low of the day for natural gas, and that was right around here at about $27.35. So if we end up looking here, we see that this trade was 7.6% to be exact. This is not including the commissions fee, so it's definitely about like 7.3%. But I had 90 shares of DGAS. This was a little bit of a smaller position, and my total profit was about $165. So this was a week-long swing trade, and I made about $160. Nothing crazy, but hey, profit is profit, and I'm more looking at the percentage gain rather than the dollar amount of profit. So that's what I'm doing right now with DGAS. I am, considering getting back into this ETF. If it breaks above this $27.50 resistance level, because we see that this clearly used to be an old support level, meaning that the candlesticks bounced above it here once, here twice, here 3 times, and then they consolidated here. And then, once they broke below that 27.50 support level, this support level became a new resistance level, because whenever support levels are broken beneath of, they become new resistance levels. So we can see that clearly now. The candlesticks are right at about $27.50, and it's at that resistance level. So I just wanted to play it safe and take my profits, and with DGAS. So if it does, break above this resistance level and it starts pushing $28, $29, I might consider taking another position. But just to play it safe, I took my profits, and I'm just going to wait it out and see what happens. So that's what I ended up doing with DGAS. So another one that I've been trading and slowly adding more and more shares into is Micron, ticker symbol MU. And this is a stock that I've been trading for the past couple of weeks, and I took my initial position like about a month and a half ago when it was actually at about $59. And as we saw this huge drop to about $51 due to all the tensions with China, the trade war, the tariffs, a bunch of the tech stocks got crushed. I mean, Micron got crushed. Apple lost a couple points, like 4 or 5%. Micron was a bigger loser due to all this Chinese news. It was at about like $61, and it dropped down to about 50. 52, which was a good 15% drop in its stock price, right? And I've been adding more and more shares over the past, like every couple of days, and definitely and mostly over the past couple of days, due to Micron stock looking like it has been fully recovered from this 15% drop to about $51. And just to look at this company in terms of a technical perspective, obviously I love the fundamentals of the company. I always look at fundamentals of companies and numbers and income statements, balance sheets, all of those different things when I'm looking at holding a company long term, right? I always do that for all my long-term holds. But in terms of just the technical analysis, looking at the chart, looking at the price action of this stock, we do see that it's been on an uptrending pattern over time, and it's been creating higher highs over the past year, right? We do see it hit lows of about $26 here. It rode that EMA line all the way up to about $50, slowly fell down to about $30, $40, consolidated there for a good couple of months. Then it saw another huge bull run back to about $61. It created the higher high there. Then we saw a nice little correction back to about $45. Then another big bull run back to about $65, where it created another higher high, right? And then we saw some decent consolidation around the $60, $65 price point for another good month and a half. And now we saw the big recent drop due to the China tensions, like I mentioned before. And I was looking at this stock as a good dip buy at this particular point, because like I said, I was in at $59, and then it dropped down to here, and I've slowly been adding shares every couple of days. And if we look a little bit closer to the 90-day 2-hour chart of Micron, we can see that it slowly has been recovering. Instead of being rejected by the EMA line like it has been over the past couple of weeks, now it's uptrending. The EMA line is acting as a support level rather than a resistance level. And, the stock is slowly recovering and making higher highs. We see it took another little dip correction here, but then it was hovering nicely above the 50-day SMA line. Didn't dip down below that to continue to go down. Instead, it shot back up, and it also crossed over this 180-day SMA line, which is another great sign of an uptrending pattern. And, now the 50-day SMA line is pointing up. The EMA line's pointing up as well, and it's well above this 180-day SMA line, looking to continue to push up. So I really just like Micron overall, right, due to the insane balance sheet it has, the crazy PE ratio it has as well as the forward PE ratio, and just the technicals all around with this particular company in terms of the stock price and the stock chart that we see here. So that is what I'm doing with Micron. Now to quickly talk a little bit about Gush, ticker symbol GUSH. I'm in this one with an $800 position on my smaller account, and why we were looking at this one overall, guys, is due to the uptrending pattern that it has. But now that we see that Gush has taken a big correction over the past couple of days, I do believe that the correction is done with this particular ETF, and especially with crude oil, because the Gush fell in price due to this massive drop in crude oil, because crude oil directly affects XOP, which is the ETF that Gush and Drip both trade based upon. So we see that as crude oil fell down, from $75 down to about $66 that it's at right now after market hours. It actually took a big dip after market hours. I do not know why, but crude oil seems like it has been completely corrected. Now we see that the RSI levels are pointing that crude oil is completely oversold. It's at the 21 point level right there. And if we look back over to XOP, which Gush trades directly based upon, meaning whenever XOP is going up in price, Gush is going up in price as well. We do see that this one saw a big correction, just like CL, crude oil, but it's still seeming to consolidate right at that 180-day SMA line. I know it's trading a little bit below it, but we do see some strong consolidation near that SMA line, right? And what we notice in the RSI levels is that they are oversold as well, more towards the 40 level. And for those of you guys that are not really familiar with the RSI levels, it's the relative strength index. We see these levels from 30 to 70, and we see these lines right here. So, pay attention to these lines and the stock price, the way it moves here. So we see, as the RSI levels are rising, more people are buying the stock, and the stock or the ETF is becoming more and more overbought. And as more people buy it, we see that the stock price is being pushed up. And as the RSI levels are completely overbought here, we see that XOP is peaking out at about $45, and then since it's overbought, it's dropping down after that, and we see the big, sell-off in the RSI level as well, back to a healthy territory, and then we see another push back up as well, but then it got rejected by the 50-day SMA line, and now it's trading below the EMA line as the RSI levels are pushing even lower. But why I still see potential, in XOP is because it's been showing strong consolidations around the 180-day SMA line, and it hasn't really been budging below about $42. I know it's dipped below $42, but if we look back for the past 2 trading days, all right, it did dip below $41 here, but pretty much the support level we've been seeing on XOP over the past 2 trading days has been around $42, with highs of about $42.70. So I do think that crude oil, has corrected itself. It's fallen about close to $9 over the past couple of trading days. So I do see, Gush pushing back up slowly from here, but again, approach every single trade with risk management and understand what you're trading, and do not trade based off of my personal opinion, and do not buy or sell based off of anyone's other opinion in that matter. So with Gush, guys, I'm in with my smaller account, just to recap again, and I'm planning on holding this one until CL starts to push back again, and hopefully CL has corrected itself and it starts to push back up, for the rest of this week and next week. So that's what I'm doing with Gush. And another one that I'm, closely watching is USLV. And USLV is more of like a wild card trade here. It's obviously still downtrending, and you would ask me, why would you even consider trading this stock? And I'm not planning on trading the stock until we see it push back up to about 850 to 875. But why I'm looking to trade USLV possibly next week, or maybe to end off this week, is due to the key support level that silver futures are at. And for those of you guys that don't know what USLV trades based upon, it is a bull ETF. It's a bull silver ETF, meaning whenever silver is going up in price, USLV is going up in price as well. And this is more of a wild card trade due to it being, trading under the EMA lines, trading under the SMA lines, and, it actively being on a downtrending pattern. So again, I won't hop into this trade until it does show some sizable push up. But if we look over the past 1 year chart, or actually let's look over the 3-year chart because that better illustrates this. We see that there's a clear support level at around $15.60 where this particular commodity has been trading for most of the day today and yesterday. So this is not a clear indication, and this is not a definite thing that it's going to bounce at $15.60 at that support level, but it is something to consider and keep your eyes on to see if it does slowly start to pop up here, because it has done it once, twice, and 3 times in the past. So, and just because the support level was bounced at 3 times, it does not mean it's going to bounce there again. For all I know and for all we know as traders, it could continue to go in this downtrending pattern, and it most likely will due to the price action of what it's looking like right now. But if it does end up holding above here and start to push back up, USLV could be a good 2 to 3 day swing trade depending on how the silver futures end up moving. And USLV itself does have a ton of potential for profit, but again, it's on a downtrending pattern. It's been on a downtrending pattern, excuse me, over the past couple of weeks, so I'm not really going to touch it unless we do see some sizable pushback up and a nice uptrending pattern forming above the EMA line and above this 50-day SMA line. But let's say it does cross $8.75 from here, guys, up to previous resistance levels at about $9.75. That is a nice 10 to 11% potential for profit trade, but I'm not going to be touching it, like I said, unless it starts to push back. So that's what I'm looking at in particular with USLV. We also had another big day as Monster shareholders today, ticker symbol MNST, and I've been slowly scalping this one over time, just like I have been with Micron, and this is another one of my longer term investments, and I covered this one in yesterday's video, and just to really just show you guys today how well Monster did and how how bullish it's been over the past couple of weeks. It's been absolutely insane. From about $47 up to $62. It's up about 30% over the past 2 months. So this is like one of the most bullish stocks right now in the stock market, and it is looking like it's due for a little correction due to these RSI levels being completely overbought right now at about 80, right? So that's completely overextended in terms of the RSI levels. So I would expect a little pullback, maybe back towards this EMA line at about $61 for these RSI levels to correct themselves a little bit. But I just wanted to quickly recap Monster for you guys. Up about $1.10 today, up about 2%. And again, this is one of my longer term swing trades, so we had a good day today in terms of Monster. And another one that I took a smaller position in today, and I'm slowly starting to build my position in, is ticker symbol WMT, Walmart Inc. And Walmart had a nice day today, about 0.63%, up 55 cents. And this is another one that I called out in my video yesterday, and that I'm saying that I'm holding as a longer term swing trade. This one, Monster, ticker symbol MU, Micron, are mostly the 3, longer term swing trade stocks, longer term investments that I'm holding right now. And Walmart, just to quickly go over this one again, it seems like it's found its bottom at about $81 to $82. And once it broke above this EMA line and broke above the SMA indicators here, I realized that Walmart could be recovering here and it could start to push up to make higher highs. And that's exactly what it's been doing. It's been pushing above the EMA line, pushing above these support levels. And this is a very good indication as a swing trader to get into the stock and, hold on for the ride. So that's what I'm doing in terms of WMT and Monster. So that's pretty much it for the entire video, guys. Just to recap, I'm trading Monster, Walmart, DGAS, Gush, and I'm looking at a possible position in USLV if silver futures do bounce above that $15.60 support level. And I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on all these different stocks and ETFs tomorrow in order to take more positions in them if I do see the value, in them tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. The link is down below in my description. @StriveSmart is my username. I post all my profits there, trades I'm taking throughout the day, updates to my YouTube channel, and just random stuff I'm doing throughout the day. So if you guys want to shoot me a DM, connect with me on that platform, I would love to talk to you guys on there. And again, make sure to do your own research when it comes down to investing and trading in the stock market. Do not buy or sell any stock based off of my opinion or anybody else's opinion out there on the internet, in person, friends, family, I don't care. Do not buy unless you've done your research and understand the fundamentals and the technicals behind that company. Hope you guys found some value in this video. Let's make some money today, guys. Peace!